their home court. Virginia Tech comes in looking for what would be their 5th win in their last 6 games, really heating up in their first season under Megan Duffy. A lot of players stepping up into bigger roles this year and have done really well, off to a 13-5 start and 4-3 in conference competition. I'll show you the rest of the Virginia Tech starting 5. Told you about Lonnie White, Carleigh Wenzel, Matilda Eck, Karis Baker, and Rose Micheaux, all back from a season ago, but mentioned that a lot of these Hokies didn't have big roles last season. Brianne, you mentioned Liz Kitley, Georgia Elmore, 2 of a number of stars for Virginia Tech's team a season ago. There was a number 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. But this year, the Hokies, a lot of players thrust into those bigger roles and succeeding in the starting 5.
Yeah, the dynamic sure has changed for the Hokies, and you'll see that on full display this evening.
Megan Duffy comes over from Marquette, had 20 wins in 4 of her 5 seasons there, 3 NCAA tournament appearances with the Golden Eagles, and would have made it in 2020 as well. That was maybe her best season at Marquette. They were 24-8 before the tournament, of course, was canceled due to the pandemic. But a tremendous tenure at Marquette for Duffy, and thriving in her first season with Virginia Tech. There's the Panther starting 5. Told you about Johnson and Phi. Brooklyn Miles and Marley Washenitz in the backcourt, and Makayla Elmore in the front court alongside Phi.
That's not a good foul right there for Marley Washenitz to pick up on the offensive side. She does tend to get in foul trouble. She plays really, really aggressive on the defensive end, and they will need her to do that. She's starting against Lonnie White.
Another note on the Virginia Tech lineup. Hokie fans will be happy to see Matilda Eck in the starting 5. She left the game on Sunday late against Louisville with an injury, but she's back out in the starting 5 for Virginia Tech today. So they're glad to see her back. She missed the closing minutes of the Hokie win over the Cardinals. Panthers still looking for their first bucket of the night. Inside to Phi. And the defense immediately collapses on her, but Brooklyn Miles hesitated and couldn't get the shot off.
Yeah, I would have liked to see her go up initially. That was a great find by Phi. They double teamed her, and she sees the wide open teammate. Miles got to knock that down.
Turnover by the Hokies there. Torrey Verdi in his 2nd season as the Pitt head coach, coming from UMass. And of course, Brianne, it was just about a week and a half ago. He had what has to be the high point of his Pitt tenure so far. Made national headlines and set NCAA records, coming back from 32 down on this floor against SMU. You were, of course, on the call, and the Panthers were able to claw their way back into that one. And they didn't just come back. They won this game by 13 points after being down by 32.
Yeah, it was truly incredible, and you thought it was going to be the turning point of the Pitt Panthers season. And unfortunately, they lose their next 2 against ranked opponents. But what a phenomenal performance Pitt put on against SMU.
Trailed 46-14, was 49-18 at the half, and before you knew it, Panthers got hot in the 3rd, outscored SMU 28-0, and found their way on top, getting their first ACC win of the season. That was 2 Sundays ago here at the Peak.
Yeah, I've never seen a quarter like that in my life. It was incredible.
And you've watched a lot of basketball. Low scoring affair so far, just over 3 minutes in. Panthers with possession, and a foul called against Virginia Tech. Looks like it's going to go against Micheaux.
Yeah, and credit to Phi on that. She draws a ton of fouls. She gets to the free throw line the most in the ACC. So the Hokies are going to have their hands full all night with her.
Phi looks cross court. Now 7 on the timer for Miles. Screen from Phi, drives to her right, And a tough finish from Brooklyn Miles.
That's a great look and take by Brooklyn Miles. She is so quick when she gets downhill. Her speed is incredible when she finishes. That's what I think Tori Verdi is looking for her to do more, is she can get downhill with the best of them. She just needs to put the ball in the basket.
Eck gets to her spot, misses the 15-footer, and the rebound corralled by Pitt. Elmore the drive. Couldn't get the shot to go.
That was not a great take by Elmore, but I'll give it to her because she's going against Rose Micheaux, one of their best players. She's looking to get her second foul.
And you were really impressed with Micheaux on film.
I'm so impressed by her. She's solid. She works hard. She rebounds the basketball. She is the glue to me for this Virginia Tech team.
Yeah, and I really liked what Megan Duffy said about Rose Micheaux, and called her an anchor for the Hokies on the inside, and they're trying to make her understand that she has to be a focal point for them. She, of course, played behind and alongside Liz Kitley in the past, but now it's about giving her the belief that she can be a go-to player with Elizabeth Kitley, of course, no longer with the team. Micheaux has started every game this season for Virginia Tech, averaging over 16 points a game across her last 4. Transferred in from Minnesota, and you see the dip in her scoring numbers when coming to VT. And of course, a lot of that has to do with Liz Kitley's presence on the interior for the Hokies, 3-time ACC Player of the Year. But now that she has become a regular starter, she is turning into that focal point offensively for Virginia Tech. And the Hokies now lead by 5 after the 3 from Karis Baker.
Yeah, and that was great ball movement to hit and find their three-point shooter and Karis Baker to knock it down.
5 backs down Micheaux on the inside. That's going to be a fun matchup to watch.
Yeah, oh yeah, fun for sure. And that was a great turnaround for Phi. Just a little kiss off the glass.
Phi averaging 18.1 points per game on the season. 1 in addition she's been for Tori Verdi, the transfer from Texas. Back inside, Micheaux and Phi battling again. That time Phi wins the battle and gets possession for Pittsburgh. 4:24 to go. First quarter, Hokies up by 3.
And rebounds a game. She's really stepping in and getting it done when the Panthers need her in big moments.
Brooklyn Miles, transfer from Kentucky, also in the starting 5. And of course, they're joined by Marley Washenitz, a returner. And Tori Verdi has talked about how it's been essential to have the returning Washenitz to join those 4 transfers in the starting 5 for Pitt, and has been a great leader for them throughout this season. Here's Elmore spinning through the lane, but finding no opening, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by the Panthers. Early star in the game is Karis Baker for Virginia Tech. 7 points, a perfect 3 for 3 from the floor. The sophomore forward has started every game this season for the Hokies and has been a problem on the inside. Kick out to White for 3.
And there's White continuing that 62% three-point field goal I was talking about in the open. They have to find her and locate her, especially in transition. Pitt has to do a better job with locating her.
Miles with the answer on the other end.
2 quick buckets for Brooklyn Miles. That's always a good sign. She gets in that paint, but when she can finish, it's a good thing for the Panthers.
White from the short corner. Wenzel tracks down the rebound. Cross-court Panthers leave White open again. Misfires once more. And Aislinn Malcolm gathers for Pitt. So Lonnie White gets her first basket of the night. Told you about her in the open. She gets open here.
Yeah, and here she is, just great ball movement. Karis Baker gets it in the center, kicks it out to her shooter. Lonnie White, easy bucket.
Megan Duffy talked to us about Lonnie White's career, was part of a winning culture at Utah, a team that reached the Sweet 16 in 2023, made the tournament again in 2024, but White just didn't quite get enough opportunity there. Only averaged 2.5 points per game across 2 seasons at Utah. And now this year averaging close to 10 a game for the Hokies. There she goes again. Couldn't get the left-handed layup to fall.
Yeah, and too bad for her, because that was great defense on the dribble handoff. She gets the steal, just can't finish on the other end.
Washenitz cuts back door and cuts the lead to 2.
What a nice looking reverse by Marley Washenitz.
Would you say she's playing the best basketball of her career right now?
Oh, absolutely, Jason. These past few games, she's been incredible. She's really has done it all season long for the Panthers on the defensive end. She gets in the lane, she takes charges, she always guards the best players on the other team, but she's really, her offensive production has been great as of late.
Washenitz, the only Panther to start every game this season, but right now Pitt's defense needs to find a way to take away the 3-ball for Virginia Tech. Hokies 3 or 5 from the perimeter on the night, gets them to a 15-10 lead. Washenitz working on White. Nice move on the step through, couldn't finish. And off to Wenzel. She hits. That's the first field goal of the night for Carleigh Wenzel, leading scorer on the season for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, that was a nice high arcing looking jump shot from Wenzel.
Panthers commit their 4th turnover, and Virginia Tech scores in transition with Micheaux. It forces a Tori Verdi timeout as the Hokies have their largest lead of the night. Just about 90 seconds to go from the Pete in the first quarter. Starting to gel and scoring some points in transition, causing problems for the Panthers in that area.
Yeah, they're really on a roll here, Virginia Tech. They're looking like they're settling into this ball game, getting quite comfortable against which Pitt is showing them on the defensive end. And talking with Coach Duffy, she said they really need to make sure they're organized against Pitt's defense with the different defenses that Tori Verdi likes to throw at them. I would say they're looking pretty organized myself, Jason.
Yeah, absolutely. Offense has picked up over the last few minutes in this game. Mentioned how much, as we talked about in the open, those keys to the game, taking care of the basketball is a key for Virginia Tech, not committing turnovers with that scrappy defense that you'll see from Pitt in the form of Marley Washenitz, Brooklyn Miles, pressure on the perimeter, but Virginia Tech doing well in that area. Just 2 turnovers here so far, taking care of the ball, valuing each possession, and helping them to what's now a 9-point lead. Here's Wenzel working on Malcolm, dishes off. Karis Baker hoists a 3. Won't go, offensive rebound, Eck. And a fresh 20 for the Hokies off the inbound here.
And that was great timing. You see Eck crashing the board. She just, her eyes, she saw exactly where the basketball was going, and she was the first to get there. She was the first one there, and that's why she secured and gave Virginia Tech an extra possession.
Hokies with a 12-5 lead in the rebounding battle right now. They have 5 offensive boards. The Panthers do not have any, and Virginia Tech capitalizes with the basket to go up 11.
Yeah, Wenzel was smooth. That was a nice looking take, nice little finger roll to finish inside.
Panthers likely to hold for the final shot here. It's battle, and a foul called. Looks like it's against Wenzel. And she took a blow to the face. Tough break for Wenzel. The foul was called on her, but wrong place, wrong time perhaps for Wenzel's defensive pressure there.
Yeah, it looks like wrong place at the wrong time. Erin Battle definitely gets her right there in the chin. You see her head makes contact. I think it looks like her chin. Maybe she got her in the nose or teeth there. They called the foul on Wenzel. We'll see what they're reviewing.
Yeah, tough call for the officials there. Wenzel with some really tight pressure on Battle. You might see a little bit of a push off from Erin Battle at the end of that, but the official's going to have one more look.
Yeah, that's a tough call. I don't know if they're looking to see if they're going to reverse it or upgrade the foul.
So it looks like they were, in fact, trying to check if it should be upgraded to an intentional foul, and certainly do not think that should be the case on that. If anything, like you said, Brianne, maybe looking at who it should have been called on, but stays as a common foul against Carleigh Wenzel. So Wenzel picks up her second. So she is now on the bench for Virginia Tech. Hokies force a miss on the final possession anyway. Only had 3 points. She only took 3 shots in the game, and Virginia Tech still got the win. And it was a key win on their home court against a really good Louisville team. And Karis Baker once again leading the score sheet here again tonight, in a bit of a bounce back game for her with 7. So it's a Virginia Tech team where they're hard to defend, Brianne, because you just never know who exactly to key in on.
You absolutely do not know. 4 players averaging in double figures. I mean, you don't know who to step out on. There's another one. Eck from beyond the arc, another one who scores in double figures for you and who can get it done. That's why I think Virginia Tech is going to have a successful season, and I think they're going to be an NCAA tournament the way that they can play and the players and the kind of caliber players that they have on their roster.
Yep, I absolutely agree. They look like an NCAA tournament team to me. Eck is 2 for 2 now from beyond the arc. Hokies as a team are 4 for 7 from 3. Their net ranking currently at 48. I think a Virginia Tech team that would have liked to win some more non-conference games early in the season took losses to Iowa and Michigan in non-con. And then Megan Duffy mentioned how disappointed they were in losing a game against Virginia on their home court just a week ago. And so a couple results they would have liked to go their way, but as you said, Brianne, I think a team that's trending in the right direction. They're starting to get more familiar with playing with each other and playing for Coach Megan Duffy, and looking like a team that should be playing in March.
Yeah, and you're right. This is her first season as the head coach, and just all the changes from last year, it really is a testament to what Coach Duffy is doing and what is she is going to do with this program.
We talked to her about her trust and her belief in the players that were here when she took over. Mentioned that this is her first season, and it's such a unique roster build to have a first-year head coach that kept so many of the players from the previous team. But she said she watched film of all the players, Rose Micheaux when she was at Minnesota, Matilda Eck at Michigan State, Carleigh Wenzel when she played back in AAU world, and said she was pleased with what she saw, committed to the group she had here, didn't dip too much into the portal, and it's paying off so far this season.
Now, wow, what a look, and great looking backdoor. Baker finds her teammate in white.
Now 11 assists on 12 made field goals for Virginia Tech. Shooting over 50% as a team early second quarter here, and they track down the rebound. Great hustle from Eck. Eck pull up 3, not that time. Micheaux had it tipped away, and Miles collects.
We'll see if Pitt can get Phi involved here as they go across screen to her. She hasn't been involved too much in the offense.
Miles straight on 3, no, rebound Micheaux, and that's a good point, Brianne. Talked to Megan Duffy about Hadijah Phi, and she talked about the fact that Phi just keeps getting better. Everybody's trying to double team her, and she just doesn't care, but tonight so far held in check. 4 points, 2 of 4 from the field for Hadijah Phi, who coming into this one has 7 consecutive games with 15 or more points. High ball screen from Phi. Johnson fouled and gets the bucket.
I thought for a minute they weren't going to call a foul there.
It was a little bit of a late whistle, wasn't it?
It was. Johnson was looking for the call. I think she saw the basketball go through the net before the foul was called. As you see, it's a little sandwich there by Eck and Micheaux. I'm not sure who they called the foul on.
Looks like Eck, her first. Johnson completes the three-point play. The only Hokie in foul trouble is still just Carleigh Wenzel with the 2. No Panther with more than 1 in this first half.
Yeah, and that's going to be something that Virginia Tech, Pitt as well. Neither bench is deep, as you only see. You see 4 over there on the bench for Virginia Tech. You see 3, 4, same for Pitt on the bench. Virginia Tech really only goes 7 deep, so they have to watch. Make sure they stay out of foul trouble.
Really strong drive there from Matilda Eck, the senior from Sweden. 2 seasons at Michigan State for her, former All-Big Ten honorable mention player on 2 occasions. Now the takeaway by Baker into Biggs, and the charge drawn by the Panthers. Audrey Biggs will head the other way.
Virginia Tech's bench and Coach Duffy are not happy about that call at all. Biggs, yeah, I'm not quite sure I like the call either. I mean, she does look like she gets her forearm in there initially. Yeah. Maybe she got her with the push. Maybe that's what the official saw.
I'm seeing the same things as you, where Biggs was certainly not set, but you do see that forearm extension a little bit there that turns it over to Pitt and gives the Panthers the call. 5 misses on the other end, and the Hokies are running again. Nelson, the pull-up, off the heel, rebound to Elmore. Washenitz, a pull-up 3. Panthers still looking for their first 3-pointer of the night. Virginia Tech has been dominant when it comes to the offensive performances of these 2 teams. As the Hokies increase that lead to 15, they are shooting 50% from the floor. Hadijah Fye finally gets one to drop, and 32-19 now, the Hokie lead. Fye up to 6 points on 3 of 6 shooting from the field.
Yeah, and that's a nice looking turnaround jumper for her over the freshman.
Eck with a quick move into the paint, but was denied. Panthers got a piece of it. Brooklyn Miles, veteran guard, is defended by the redshirt freshman Mackenzie Nelson. Panthers looking for Fye again. Washenitz once more with that sneaky cut along the baseline and gets the and 1.
Yeah, that was a great cut by Marley Washenitz, but even better find by Hadijah Fye. She's really passing the ball well tonight. Stick with us.
Down in Blacksburg to honor, really, Brienne, one of the greatest college basketball players of all time.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, greatest college basketball player for sure to come through Virginia Tech. Probably one of the best in the ACC, if not the best. I mean, it's incredible, the accolades, the accomplishments that she has, where she took Virginia Tech as a program. It's just incredible. The list goes on with that player.
Because you sometimes see sophomores win Conference Player of the Year, and you wonder, well, how much better can they get? And then to claim that award 2 consecutive seasons after that, with how many elite talents there are across the ACC, speaks to just how impressive Elizabeth Kitley was in a Hokie uniform. Hokies have been impressive tonight, out to a 10-point lead here late in the second quarter. 14 made field goals in the first half and 11 assists on those field goals. Offensive rebounds, a difference maker as well. 6 now for Virginia Tech on the night. Nelson, pass inside to Baker. Gets to the basket, gets her own rebound and draws contact.
I'm so impressed by the shots, not only that Virginia Tech takes, but the looks that they get. They work the basketball until they get the best option. There are always options in your offense. You have option 1, option 2, option 3, sometimes even 4. But they really have been working the basketball, and sometimes they are getting to that 3 and 4th option before they take the best looking shot available.
Megan Duffy's only 18 games into her tenure at Virginia Tech, Brienne, but you can just tell that the offensive style is working, and she's going to have a successful career here for the Hokies.
Yeah, she is absolutely. My assistant coach from college, Etora Coleman, is one of her assistants on staff there. She was my coach at Penn State, and she told me before the game here today, Megan Duffy is a winner, and I wanted to be with a winner. And that was just impactful, how she said it to me, and you can see, and that's what she did at Marquette, and I feel like that's what she's going to do here at Virginia Tech.
And Duffy talked to us about how excited she was to put this staff together, and said she really went out and got people that fit what she wanted and what she envisioned for this Virginia Tech program as she tries to build it and continue to have the Hokies as a national contender. Of course, Kenny Brooks got them in an excellent spot, and he goes off to Kentucky. They bring in Duffy, and so far really haven't skipped a beat. Virginia Tech looking good in the first half of the season, but the lead's now down to 8. Little bit of an offensive slump for VT. They're just one of their last 7 from the field, and the Panthers trying to trim into that margin.
Yeah, with a big 3 by Elmore. She's like, come on, please drop, as it sat on the rim there before it fell in.
Seal on the inside from Micheaux, got Phi in the air for the finish.
Yeah, that was a heads-up play by Micheaux with Phi. She knows she is a little undersized with Phi inside there, but she gets her up in the air before she finishes.
Micheaux is 6'2", Phi a couple inches taller at 6'4". One more look at the interior play.
You see, she had great position, gets her up in the air, squares up, waits till she's coming down. She has no chance to block that shot. Great play by Rose Micheaux.
Hadijah Phi had 8 blocks in the game Sunday against North Carolina. Only 2 tonight for the Panther center, but the Hokies continue to strike from the outside, and it comes from Matilda Eck.
Yeah, and again, so well executed. Lonnie White comes off the top ball screen. Eck is coming off the flare screen, and they get her wide open. Pitt tries to go over the screen, fights over, but just can't get there in time. Nice find.
Inside to Phi. And no foul called. She wanted it, didn't get it. Well defended by Virginia Tech as the Panther teammates help Phi up.
Yeah, you absolutely see she wanted that. A little dig down from the guard there. Nelson might have hit her on the arm. 3 players collapsed on her. You see what Virginia Tech is trying to do against Phi. They're trying to limit her, not only her points, but her shot attempts.
You have to credit the way Megan Duffy's team has defended the Panther star so far tonight, limiting her to 6 first half points. Now a 3 ball again is good for Lonnie White.
Lonnie White, gotta find her. She can knock it down from 3, shooting beyond the arc. Over 60% these last 4 games, make it 5 today.
Panthers had the lead down to 8, but now an 8-0 run over the last minute for the Hokies gives them their largest lead of the contest at 16. Elmore steps out and misfires on the 3. Virginia Tech is shooting 6 for 11 from beyond the arc tonight. They want one more. Nelson with the heave. Won't go, and it's a 41-25 halftime lead for Virginia Tech. We talked about the balance of their offense. They've already got 2 players in double figures. Rose Micheaux, who has done an outstanding job defending the Panther center on the inside tonight. And right away, speaking of Micheaux, she's able to gather the tip pass and transition ball for the Hokies with Eck. Phi is such a focal point of that Panther offense, Brienne, and just seems like they're not able to find her and use her tonight in ways they have been able to all season.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. And I'm going to credit Virginia Tech. She is definitely trying to force things, but Virginia Tech is really doing a tremendous job on her. A lot of times their teams come in and are like, just let other players beat us. But tonight, they're really focusing on Phi, and they're trying to get the basketball out of her hands.
Phi picks up the foul there. That's now 3 on Hadijah Phi. So not just struggling to score, but in foul trouble now early in the second half as well. Missed three from Eck. Another offensive rebound and taken advantage of by Lonnie White and the Hokies.
Yeah, and that's the Panthers need to come down with that, because Virginia Tech runs a great baseline out-of-bounds set, and they don't score it, but they get the offensive rebound. Pitt needs to do a better job at securing that one and done for Virginia Tech.
8-2 is the offensive rebounding lead in the game for Virginia Tech. Foul called against the Hokies this time down. Goes on Micheaux. That's number 2 on Micheaux for Virginia Tech, sends Phi to the line. Phi, also a solid free throw shooter for a big, 71% on the season, despite missing her first there. 18.1 points per game on the year, but 20.3 points per game in ACC play for Khadijah Phi. Having very little trouble transitioning into one of the best conferences in all of college basketball, if not the best, here in the ACC. Phi off the pass from Johnson. Micheaux with tight defense once again on the inside. Baker turns around and she draws contact.
Great patience by Baker on the inside there. She does have the double team, but she sees Marley Washenitz, smaller defender on her, and she squares up and takes advantage of the mismatch.
2 fouls now on Washenitz, sends Karis Baker to the line, makes the first. 72% free throw shooter on the season. Brianne, you and I here on the call a couple weeks ago, Louisville Cardinals came to town. They had a couple daughters of NBA legends. How about Karis Baker as well? 4-time NBA All-Star, current Milwaukee Bucks assistant. Vin Baker is her father. So now we've got Karis Baker to add to our list of some legendary basketball lineage.
Yeah, and I talked about her basketball IQ earlier in this game, and I think her dad might have something, something to do with that. But hey, let's not leave her mom out there. She also played at Hartford as well with her dad in the same years.
Hokies really starting to turn it on now. A 7-1 run to start the second half for VT.
Replay of that nice looking shot. Virginia Tech, little step back by Carleigh Wenzel. Knock it down.
Bram, what's interesting, as much as we've talked about the depth for Virginia Tech, the balance of the offense, they don't have any bench points tonight. So it's been a very balanced attack, but all from the 5 starters. Each of the starters has at least 7.
Yeah, and they're spreading the wealth, that's for sure. But if they ever do get in foul trouble, that bench is going to play a role in that, not being able to score the basketball.
Lonnie White, speaking of foul trouble, did just pick up her 3rd, replaced by Matilda Eck. White has been extremely efficient in her time on the floor. 12 points, 5 for 8 from the floor, and 2 for 3 from the perimeter to go with 3 assists for Lonnie White, transfer from Utah. Another sub for the Hokies. Layla Wells will go in. So poor Matilda Eck thought she was going in, but coach changes her mind and goes with Wells instead.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was about.
That was odd, wasn't it?
Yeah, very.
Phi just getting nothing on the inside.
Yeah, Phi just cannot find her groove. They're taking her out of her game. They're pushing her to go over her left shoulder, and she doesn't really like to go that way. So Virginia playing a great defensive game against Phi.
Phi is now 3 for 10 from the field. has not just been a scorer this season, but has typically been very efficient as well. 49% shooter on the season, Khadija Faye, but just not finding the same openings and opportunities on the inside here tonight. Wenzel, meanwhile, goes 2 for 2 at the line. Hokies swell the lead to 24.
You heard Verdi yelling over there at Johnson. She didn't really execute the play, and that's what's taking her off the floor right now. She didn't set the screen. She was screen the screener, but she forgot to set the initial first screen. And you really don't sometimes see, just watching a basketball game, how mental this game is. It is incredible. The preparation that goes in for these players, the scouting reports, the knowing the plays, the X and the O's. It is much more than just being athletic and being able to score the basketball.
That's one part of the game that always amazes me. Just the amount of different offensive sets you have, the things you have to remember on defense. Is the player a shooter? Do they go to their left? Do they go to their right? And no matter who comes in, you have to change your defensive mindset based on your assignments. So many things to keep in mind.
Yeah, so many things, and it happens so fast. I always watch football or baseball. I'm like, they have so much time to set up a play or know what's coming, right?
Panthers looking for a stop. Virginia Tech very efficient all night, especially here to start the third quarter. Baker steps back. Not the shot Hokies were looking for there. But abnormal from what we've seen from them throughout the night. They've been very patient, valuing the basketball. Shot selection has been excellent. VT is 7 for 13 from three-point range on the night. Washenitz takes a 3 of her own. It won't go. Panthers with just 1 made 3 on the night so far.
Just not really able to get in any sort of rhythm are the Panthers on the offensive side of the basketball.
And Mackenzie Nelson got bailed out there. Made a bit of a bad pass down on the inside, but Hokies drew a foul. Makayla Elmore picked up the foul. That's her third, so she takes a seat as well. And a shooter's roll for Lane, among others, stepping up for Virginia Tech. And of course, those are all players, Brienne, that maybe came off the bench a season ago, didn't have big roles, and now in Megan Duffy's first season, starting to find their true potential and really performing well.
Yeah, it's really impressive to see where they all truly have come from last season. And you see today, they're doing the same thing. The balanced scoring that they've had so far tonight. It's just impressive what they can do. This is a true team, and they love to get their team victories. They don't have a superstar out there on their team. They can all get it done, and they're showing you that tonight.
I loved what Coach Duffy said about Carleigh Wenzel in particular. Said Wenzel went from not playing much to being a marked player all within 6 months, which you don't see that often. A player is eager for playing time, just trying to get minutes, and then 6 months later, they are the key player that the opponent is focusing on.
Yeah, really, and about Wenzel too. She's playing mostly the point guard position for the Hokies, and Coach Duffy said that she's probably better off the basketball,
right,
which is even more impressive.
I mentioned for Wenzel, when you can score and then you're trying to play point, can have its challenges at time, but Wenzel proving to be a dynamic guard for the Hokies, just a redshirt sophomore too. A lot of young talent on this Virginia Tech team. Baker is just a sophomore. Mackenzie Nelson, a redshirt freshman. Lonnie White in her junior season. Matilda Eck hits the 3. She's a 4-year starter, 2 of those at Michigan State. And now her second year at Virginia Tech. What a career for Eck. She has averaged in double figures all 4 seasons of her college career. And Eck has been the leader for the Hokies tonight with 14 points on 4 of 6 shooting from downtown. Wells left open. 3 won't go. Micheaux, offensive rebound, draws the foul on Phi. 4 fouls in her 109th career game here tonight. She's played in 111 games throughout her career. So started all but 2. Instantly became a factor when she arrived on campus in East Lansing in 2021 for Michigan State. Big Ten All-Freshman team player, 2-time All-Big Ten honorable mention. Transfers to Virginia Tech after 2 seasons. Averaged 10.4 points a game last season for the Hokies. And now this year, putting together maybe her best season of her VT career. And key game for her tonight with those 14 points, propelling the Hokies to a 60-31 lead. Nice drive by Marley. Washenitz puts it in off the window, and Washenitz up to 7 points tonight.
Yeah, and that's what you call making something of nothing. The play falls apart. Marley keeps her head up, turns the corner.
It's Kale Peterson backing down the defender on the inside. Long pass ahead to Biggs and gets the basket and the foul.
Can that spark the Panthers, the freshman Audrey Biggs getting some action here tonight. Nice pass.
Feed, yep.
Yeah, nice pass by the point guard Washenitz. She waits till the defender goes up in the air. Nice little head fake with the opportunity for 3.
Freshman on freshman battle in the paint there with Audrey Biggs going up against Kale Peterson. Freshman wearing number 34 for the Hokies was called for the foul. Good job by Biggs to get her in the air and draw the contact. Audrey Biggs, of course, hasn't gotten too much playing time this year for the Panthers, but when she is in, very efficient from the field. 42% shooter, 43% from beyond the arc, and has been great from the line at 92% there. Still young in her first season here, Biggs, but Tori Verdi excited about what she can bring in the future with the Panthers. Makayla Elmore fires and connects on the triple.
Little pick and pop for Elmore. Washenitz to Elmore for 3.
Now a steal. 8-0 run by the Panthers. Can they stretch it even more? Five consecutive made field goals for Pitt. Certainly looks like their best offensive portion of the night. 3 minutes remain, third quarter. Hokies have led by as much as 29. Washenitz uses the screen from Elmore, now in trouble. Bounce pass to the big down low, and Elmore's reverse layup falls. A 10-0 run for the Panthers, and Megan Duffy is looking for a timeout.
And that's Panthers when they are down. That third quarter has been their favorite all season long. Something about what Tori Verdi has going on at halftime. In those speeches, as you see, that little pick and pop there. Marley Washenitz pulls it back. Nice little back pass to her teammate in Elmore. And then Elmore again with a sweet little reverse.
Well, and Tori Verdi has told us, Brian, on multiple occasions, he says, I don't care who's in the game, what the time is, what the score is. I expect your best for 40 minutes. Whether we're up 20, we're down 20, we do not change our identity. And that's part of the reason why they were able to make a 32-point comeback a week and a half ago. And you see that same fight here tonight, despite the fact that they were down 29, still trailing by 19, but currently on a 10-0 run, and still a lot of basketball left to be played. Force another miss. Virginia Tech out of bounds. Panthers win possession again.
And can they keep this run going?
Hokies, meanwhile, yep, 2 for their last 10 from the field, and 10-0 run for Pitt, like you said, Brian. Battle, a step back 3. Won't go. Good box out, and the rebound for Baker.
That would have been huge, Jason.
Micheaux gets her own rebound, misses twice, and Pitt ball.
I thought they were calling a foul on Rose Micheaux under there. She just hit it out of bounds.
Hokies have been so good on offense all night, but now just 2 for their last 13 from the floor. Panthers with a little bit more energy here late in the third. Elmore hoists a 3. Can't get the roll, and last touched by VT.
Stays with the Panthers.
Makayla Elmore with both of the Panthers' made 3-point attempts tonight. Malcolm, the deep 2, can't get it. Rebound to Nelson. Wenzel, yes, ends the run on the short runner in the paint.
Yeah, that was a lot of contact. Marley Washenitz was giving Wenzel there. Wenzel was looking for the official to call the foul, but she at least knocks down a nice little jumper.
5 Hokies in double figures. Carleigh Wenzel 4 for 7 from the floor tonight. Rebound hauled in there by Lonnie White. Baker. Rebound to Washenitz.
Yeah, Baker was calling for that. She knew she had a mismatch, just wasn't the best pass. As Malcolm knocks it down on the other ends. 12-2 run, Pitt.
21-18 is the third quarter tally. Virginia Tech still ahead. They got off to a really hot start in the third, despite the 12-2 run from the Panthers. Nice shifty move from Wenzel, gets to the basket, and tipped out of play by the Hokies.
Shifty, I like that word. She is really good with the basketball. She is smooth, she gets it done. She makes really good plays and can get to the basket. She's not the fastest or quickest player out there, but she really has some great skill set.
Well, we talked about Micheaux playing behind Kitley, Wenzel playing behind Elmore for a lot of last season, and so this talent, kind of a hidden gem on the Hokie bench from Carleigh Wenzel. Been nice to see her break out this year for Virginia Tech. Washenitz drives baseline, athletic shot, didn't get it to go, and Rose Micheaux will hold on to the basketball.
Yes, you know, obviously there's a lot more basketball to be played. And like you said, they're trending in the right direction, and I really think they are as Baker knocks down a 3 there. They have so many weapons on their team, and that's what you need to make a run, and really not just make a run, but make the actual tournament.
If they finish things off here tonight, they'll have won 5 of their last 6 games. And it's really important that they were so successful in this stretch, Brienne, because coming up next on Sunday, they go to Raleigh to take on an NC State team ranked in the top 20. And then their following game after that, taking on number 3 Notre Dame. What a game that's going to be a week from tonight in Castle Coliseum, with the Fighting Irish coming to town, and what'll be a crucial game for Virginia Tech. It was interesting hearing from Megan Duffy about her strategy in keeping the roster for the Hokies. She said, getting a job now, it's like speed dating. She had not even hired her staff yet before trying to get on the court with the players, and said she just tried to be herself as much as she could early on. A lot of the kids had the opportunity to play at Virginia Tech, and she said she didn't want to go into the portal to get 4 or 5 players to round out the roster. She was really appreciative of the players who stayed, and even the players themselves have liked the challenge of having to change their game in certain ways now to become key components of this team.
Yeah, and you don't see that very often, especially now, the landscape of college basketball. All these coaches are going into the portal, and what kind of message that sends to your team and to your players. And I think they feed off of her. They feed off of her energy, the winning mentality that she is instilling in them.
Virginia Tech fan base has certainly bought in as well. Of course, the program was in an excellent spot under Kenny Brooks, continuing to show up for Megan Duffy's team as well. Over 8,900 fans in attendance on Sunday for the game against Louisville.
Big bucket by Washenitz.
Panthers trying to claw back in. Washenitz is the leading Panther scorer with 10 points. Hadijah Fye still on the bench with those 4 fouls. It has not been her night. 7 points on 3 of 10 shooting. Wenzel the baseline drive and the foul.
Aaron Battle passes ahead to Washenitz. Nelson tries to take the charge. Washenitz sees her hit the floor. And bang, bang, beyond the arc is Washenitz.
Mentioned Washenitz playing some of her best basketball over the last 4 games. 12.3 points per game, 41% from beyond the arc, and she's been one of the best defenders in the ACC this season, averaging 2.3 steals per game on the year, 2.8 across the last 4 for Washenitz, among the conference's best. Tell you what, anytime you're on a list with Hannah Hidalgo, Tanaya Latson, really doesn't matter what list it is. You just want to be on it.
That's for sure. 2 of the best in the ACC, no doubt.
So at halftime, Hannah Hidalgo, certainly a Conference Player of the Year candidate from Notre Dame. What a team the Irish have this year. Top 5 in the country. Hokies struggling offensively to start the 4th quarter, but not anymore. Carleigh Wenzel hits the 3. She's up to 14 points. That ties a team high with Matilda Eck, and Virginia Tech is from beyond the arc. That's good for 52% from 3-point range tonight. Johnson, a tough drive, gets the shot to go. Margin down to 20.
Now, we haven't heard from Johnson since the hot start of her first 5 points in the first quarter. She gets back on the scoreboard.
But immediate answer from the Hokies in Micheaux. She has been really impressive tonight, Brianne. Not just what she's done offensively with the 12 points, but Micheaux maybe shutting down Fye more than we've seen any other ACC player do this season.
Yeah, I don't think, and right on cue, there's Micheaux. Fye is trying to get to the free throw line. She's trying something, but Rose Micheaux is just standing her ground. Like I said earlier, she is so solid. She's really playing tough against her inside.
That's one thing that's really impressive about this Virginia Tech performance tonight is how many elite ACC forwards has Fye gone up against? How many top caliber coaches in this conference have been unable to shut her down? But Megan Duffy's team has found a way tonight.
Yeah, they absolutely have. Shooting just 3 for 11 from the field is Fye.
Makayla Johnson will head to the line.
The second against Virginia Tech. To the line for the Panthers, 23, Makayla Johnson.
Johnson, not the best free throw shooter, with just shooting 57% from the line on the season.
Johnson, the transfer from Colorado, Mentioned she's picked up her play, especially on the offensive side as of late. Tori Verdi has always known she's got the talent in her, but got hurt in her senior year of high school, went to Colorado, didn't play much, and talked about how they have to rehab Johnson mentally so that she can understand her abilities and remember that she can really play. Need her to think about the times when she was an elite offensive talent and trying to get her back to that level. But Rose Micheaux for the Hokies has been a lot to handle. Gets the put back there for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, wow, and with that Micheaux down there, they're flexing their muscles over there on the Hokies bench. That was a tough bucket inside by Rose Micheaux.
I got to give you credit, Brienne. You called this one early tonight from Rose Micheaux. You talked to me pregame and watched her warming up. You said she is really solid down there on the inside.
Yeah, she is. She is. And she really works hard, too. It's not that she's just solid. She works hard. She's a little out of position right there, but knocks Miles to the floor as you see her here on the replay. Just look at this offensive rebound. I mean, she boxes Phi out like she's boxing her out on the defensive end and then goes up so strong. And just this on-ball screen to get Wenzel wide open. I mean, that's a guard's dream. Having a big like that, setting a hard screen, nobody's getting through that unless they're fouling you.
Micheaux made 16 starts in her freshman year back at Minnesota and really started to break out in her second season with the Gophers. 13.8 points a game, one of the top rebounders in the Big Ten. It was all conference honorable mention in 2023. Comes to Virginia Tech. Mentioned she took the back seat to Liz Kitley for much of last year, but another one of those hidden gems on the Virginia Tech bench a season ago, experiencing a breakout this year in Rose Micheaux.
Oh, Wenzel smacked her face off the floor.
Wenzel has taken a couple tough hits to the face here tonight. Good to see her up on her feet, but she has been battling in this one.
Yeah, wow. I'm surprised she hopped up that quickly off that. Okay, it's her chin, it looks like. I thought it was her. Oh. Yeah, she smacks that pretty good. It looked like literally the same spot that she got hit earlier by...
It was Battle. I think in the first quarter.
Yeah, Battle's head. You're right. Well, she comes out of the game, so hopefully nothing's to come of that for Wenzel.
And Megan Duffy certainly doesn't want to risk any further damage to her leading scorer on the season in Carleigh Wenzel. White open for three, connects. Lonnie White with 15 points for Virginia Tech.
Man, and 3 for 4, Jason. Over the last 4 games, I said it probably 3 times, she shot over 60%. 3 for 4 she is from beyond the arc. She's a silent killer.
What a stretch for White, coming off 18 points Sunday against Louisville. Double figures now in 5 consecutive games for Lonnie White. Really starting to settle in, the transfer from Utah.
That was a little bit of a heat check, I think,
the same
for Lonnie White.
She heard us hyping her up over here.
She really did. She really did. Just a little bit of air there, or a little bit of space, excuse me. And just find your shooters, right? I mean, that was just a loose ball that ends up in the right.
Was that a double bounce pass there? Bounced twice before getting to Lonnie White on the wing?
Yeah, because it definitely wasn't meant for White there. But she found herself wide open. Why not? Why not let it fly?
That's a shooter's dream right there. Ball
Absolutely.
just ends up in your hands off 2 bounces. Mention what Virginia Tech has coming up. The Panthers, meanwhile, are off this weekend. They are not back in action until next Thursday. They will go to Palo Alto, make their trip out west, take on Stanford next Thursday night, and then they've got Cal on the same trip on the road on the ensuing Sunday. So a couple games, I should say, out west for the Panthers. And back home against Boston College Fighting Irish looming for Pitt as well. Number 3 team in the country will be here at the Pete on February 13th. Hokies have been hot from 3 all night long. This time Mackenzie Nelson fires and hits. And it is all Virginia Tech at the Pete tonight.
That's a hard foul by Kel Peterson, the freshman from Wisconsin. Knocks Marley Washenitz hard to the floor.
Washenitz will head to the line. Mentioned Peterson, freshman for the Hokies. What a game she had on Sunday. 12 points for Peterson. That was the most for her since the season opener against UNC Wilmington. Previous 4 games she had not scored. And then Sunday, when they need a spark against Louisville, Kel Peterson, the freshman, comes off the bench and scores 12, a key part of their victory at home over the Cardinals.
There's Marley Washenitz with 11 points, the lone Panther in double figures tonight. That is not going to get it done for your squad.
And it's going to end a streak of 7 consecutive games with 15 points or more for Khadijah Fye. We've talked all night about how impressive Virginia Tech's defense has been on the Panther center Fye.
That was a nice take by by Elmore. Nice little lefty finger roll. Takes the contact. Finishes the 3-point play. Be the second Panther in double figures with 10 for the night.
Nice crossover from Nelson. Virginia Tech putting the finishing touches on this one. Megan Duffy said the greatest thing about Virginia Tech is they love women's basketball. And her team is not a finished product yet, still has some flaws, but the support from the fan base and the administration has been outstanding. Said she came to Blacksburg to win a national championship, get to a Final Four, has huge aspirations for their program, and has a team that really cares about wearing that Virginia Tech uniform, care about making the school proud. And what a year it's been so far for Megan Duffy in her first season, as the Hokies are on their way to 14-5, 5-3 in a tough ACC. A really impressive run that they're on, Brienne.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, they get it done tonight. All 5 starters in double figures. I mean, that's going to get it done for you no matter who you're playing. And the Pitt Panthers on the other end, 2 players in double figures with 11 points. Virginia Tech holds Fye, one of the leading scorers in the ACC, to single digits. I mean, not many ACC teams can do that. This was an all-around tremendous performance by Virginia Tech. ACC got to be watching out for the Hokies moving forward.
Absolutely. Some teams might have thought no more Kenny Brooks, no more problems from Virginia Tech. Well, that's not the case. Megan Duffy has the Hokies in a great spot as we approach February, with 2 really tough games coming up for Virginia Tech. But they're going to be pleased with a 27-point win tonight in Pittsburgh. 84-57 the final, as Megan Duffy and Virginia Tech improve to 14-5, Brian.